Yeah, my name's Kelly Lund, and I live in Denver, Colorado, and I've got a dog named Loki. When I brought him home, I made every intention, knowing that he was going to be could be prone to be timid and afraid of people and things, to get him in every environment I could. So even from the moment I brought him home, I would like bring him to Christmas parties because it was around that time of the year, and uh, snow blowing machines that create snow that are super loud. They're like jet engines, cars, different people, kids. Even as a puppy, he was kind of weird around kids, and I have a neighbor with a couple kids, and we would spend some time with them, and over time he just became very calm and gentle, and at this point I really trust him around kids. But anyway, Loki's mom was a husky, a full husky, and his dad was a wolf and a Malamute. So being a northern breed, he's prone to not want to listen, and being part wolf, he's prone to be very timid at times, and shy of either people or noises and things like that. As a puppy, I did my best to keep him off leash as much as possible whenever it was safe. I also started walking with him around the neighborhood on leash, but also soon after that, even riding next to a bicycle, even if it was just for a block. And I knew that later on, when he got older, that would be kind of a big form of exercise when we were at home, is to run him next to a bike. So I wanted him to get used to that even as a pup. So the husky I had before that's where I really found that um, that the outlet for getting that dog like exercise, and honestly being able to help with recall and things, was having him, running him next to a bike until he was so tired, and then he was much more responsive, and just it seemed to be better as far as recall and listening, and just being a well-behaved, well-mannered dog. So anyway, that's what I wanted to do with Loki. Um, so I did that early on. I also, even when he was like 3, 4 months old, I took him backcountry snowboarding with me. So obviously I'd go really slow at his pace, but that would be totally off leash. And I think even on those early backcountry snowboarding trips or hikes in the same way, um, there wasn't really any other place for him to go other than where we were already headed in the woods. And I don't think that he had some big exciting thing to go find, because we were kind of doing the exciting thing, if you will. And anyway, so yeah, we would roam around, and especially in the snow, it's easy because it would be hard for him to get really far in deep snow. So that was a really cool way to start it out, because he was born in October. So come January, February is when we were starting to adventure out. But I think the idea that I give him as much freedom as I can, but also expect a lot from him. I hope to raise my kids the same way someday, in the sense that, like, I expect them to be polite, I expect them to be well-mannered, I expect them to behave the way that well-mannered kids behave, but I also give them a lot of freedom. And with that, I think there comes like a mutual respect between, when in the moment that I need him to do something for me, then I haven't been, he's already had all kinds of freedom up to that point. As opposed to if he lived in the house 24/7, and the one day, or the 1 hour once a week that he got outside, he would go crazy. He wouldn't come back to me and whatnot. So I guess I see it in the same way that I see, like, if you ever see homeless people with dogs, they just hang out beside them. They have no place to go because they've already been everywhere essentially with their master. They live with their master 24/7, so there's nothing any more interesting out away from their owner than right beside them. I guess it's partially kind of how I see that. I named Loki his name because it's the Viking god of mischief, and I thought when I was bringing him home, I knew I was bringing a handful of dog home, and I really was concerned about being patient with him, and him tearing things up, and even as a puppy, he's torn screens up on the outside of the house, or he's chewed up shoes, or dug in places that he shouldn't be digging, and things like that. And I'll come home and find those things. I found through our adventures, those tables have really turned, because now I take so many photos of him, and when I get the camera out, sometimes it's kind of a balancing act, and sometimes it's a back and forth. But I think a lot of times he just understands that he just needs to chill and wait for me to do my thing, and I'm really thankful for him for that, because it's only over taking probably literally between 50 and 100,000 photos of him, I can get him to stop and stay on a rock, or stay in a spot, and not all the time, obviously, and obviously there's still a lot of back and forth when it comes to us doing photography and whatnot. But yeah, I think just over time he's just been able to really stay put. But really what he is, and what I'm thankful for, is that he's really like a team player in that sense. I think he really understands that, all right, it's time to play ball, in a sense. Now, not he doesn't like to play ball, but you know what I'm saying. I'm really thankful for that, and I think that sometimes he, I'm just really blessed with the fact that I could put him up on a desk to take a picture. I've taken a picture of him on my desk while I'm working, and then he ended up just laying on the desk for 30 minutes after, and he just chills, or if I put him in a hammock, he'll end up just laying in the hammock and just chilling there. And yeah, I'm really thankful for that, and I think that part of that is just who he is, and part of that is because we've done it so many times, and we just have this kind of back and forth relationship where he understands that it's just kind of part of our life. I always tell people, if they want a dog, they're gonna have to be prepared to restructure their life in such a way, in these different ways that I've mentioned. You're gonna go on vacation, instead of leaving your dog behind, do everything in your power to bring your dog along with you, and find a pet-friendly place to stay. And maybe that means, if I'm skiing at a resort, coming back and bringing him with me, and letting him out a couple times during the day from the truck, to go to the bathroom and hang out with him, or go back to the truck and eat lunch or whatever. But yeah, just restructuring your life in such a way that it just is fair. I've never been to any formal classes with Loki. I just kind of, I guess I just kind of listened to him in a sense of what he needed. And Loki doesn't really care to be pet for the most part. He doesn't really care about treats. How I show him love is getting him out and getting him exercise and getting him in an environment where he can sniff and smell and experience the world and explore new things. He doesn't care really about people, or people new people's attention or anything like that. The way that he comes alive, or the way that he finds the most enjoyment in the world, is just getting out and exploring and exercising. And that foundation, I think, has allowed him to just, in a sense, have a personality where he just kind of takes a deep breath and is the way he is now.